Hello guys, David Vose here. Oh, buddy. I hope you're having a wonderful day, friends. Have you seen the blob? Some of you may have seen it. Some of you might not have seen it, but it's all over TikToky, YouTubey. And I'm here today to tell you about the blob. It started on April the 8th of all dates. That's the beginning of the new year, the Jewish calendar. And that's the day they opened the bottomless pit, CERN. That's when they shot. Well, that's the day that we had the eclipse, and they shot the 3 rockets. Apep, a mythological deity of destruction that was attacking the sun, and they shot it at the sun. And all the blob, we've already heard about, and we saw the total eclipse and all this, but look straight down from the blob, and right there where I'm pointing, that little knoll, that is the exact spot where it started, and we're going to show you what's down there. And if you look there, see that the waves are 83.4 feet high there in the center. That's pretty high waves. You say, it didn't happen. How do you know? Nobody went down there to check. But the map says it did. Now, they say it's an anomaly inside the system. I guarantee we're going to prove it was not an anomaly. It was some kind of a storm system, some kind of a heat building up, some kind of high pressure, low pressure, whatever that is called. And it's what makes storms. And it was so intense that it made this big, dark red blob. And it started going from Antarctica, from a certain location, which we're going to heretofore disclose, and it just kind of got bigger and grew. The blob just kept on coming, and it started going towards Africa. Yeah. And right about the time it starts to touch the southern tip of South Africa and go up the west coast, remember the floods they were having in Dubai? I think it was over in Saudi Arabia, somewhere in one of those cities. Well, you probably didn't hear about the heat wave and all the storms and the many, many deaths in South Africa and up the west coast of Africa. And I'm going to share that information with you today. But this went from April 8th on through. Now, here's a kind of a time lapse. It started April 8th. It starts moving up towards Africa, and you can see that there's these huge waves and currents and all this going all over the place. If you go to the map right about April 8th, you see where, on this particular map, that's not a heat map, you see where it starts. So it says 78.9 feet. At one point, it was 83 feet, these waves. But I'm going to share with you where it's coming from. And after you see this, there will be no doubt in your mind what it is and what they're trying to do. But it's a big red spot. All right, now, it's going to go way up here eventually. It's going to sort of fade out as it gets to the Horn of Africa. But as you can see, it's just this massive dark red area where the waves are 80 feet high. I mean, I don't even know, that's just massive. But it all kind of stops and peters out right here at the Horn of Africa. Now, let me show you where it starts, what is at this location. This is where we were looking. If you go straight down to where it's coming from here in the Antarctic, it appears to be coming from this area, the New Mayor Station 3. Now, what is this New Mayor Station 3? If we click it, it doesn't say anything. So let's go and look that up. New Mayor Station 3 So it's Newmare Station 3. It's open. It's open 24 hours. It's also known as Newmare 3 after geophysicist George von Neumayer. It's a German Antarctic research station of the Alfred Wegener Institute. It's located on the approximately 200 meters thick Ekstrom ice shelf, several kilometers south of Newmare Station. Let's read the rest of that, the Wikipedia. If you go down here, it says activities, list meteorology, geophysics, atmospheric chemistry, infrasound. Infrasound. And in the Wikipedia, it says, the station's assembly kit was transported to its current position early in November 27. So I found this. This is what they're doing. They're continually monitoring the surface water, vapor isotopic compositions at this Newmare Station 3, East Antarctica. Now, I tried reading all of this, and there's a lot of words here, and I don't really like reading words, so I didn't get too far. I kind of sped read it, and I don't see much going on there. But I see words like meteorological observation, water vapor isotopic observation, moisture source diagnostics, results, temperature and water vapor measurements. Okay, I'm just glossing over this, but let me show you something. You keep going on down here with all this mumbo jumbo bumbo, and then they show you pictures. I can understand pictures. And from that location, they're at this Newmare Station 3 in Antarctica, you see these strange spots, yellow coloration with the darker red coming from Newmare. I don't know why they're showing us pictures, but there is a little graph here of the moisture uptake month and day, and the darker red seems to be more moisture uptake. Now, are they monitoring it or are they causing it? It seems very odd, but possibly this is just where this happens, right? Somewhere in this one spot. And they found out about it and went down there and they started monitoring it. Okay, this is just where all the hurricanes and everything, all the moisture comes from, all around the world. It's been doing it for thousands of years, and they just went down there and made a station and they started monitoring it. Or, if we're to believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you down there in Arizona over the ocean, right? But it could be then that they moved down there and bam, they started experiments and they got this moisture to come up and form this intense. The only way you could do this is through some kind of radiation or heating of the area, causing a low pressure, high pressure system thing, whatever, cloud seeding, I don't know. But then they show you other weird pictures, and you go down further and you see the same pictures here, only much worse. Now you've got the blob starts to form, and it's right there in the same spot. I don't think this could be a coincidence. But it's not a coincidence either that this is the bottom of the world, and that this blob started on April the 8th, the beginning of the Jewish calendar, the new year, and also the very day that CERN began operations and turned CERN on. That the whole purpose of CERN was to open the bottomless pit. This is the bottomless pit of the world, in the abyss, beneath the sea, beneath the ocean, at the bottom of the world. We've also heard, and by the way, this is run by Germans. And the Germans and the Nazis that went down there and created a base, supposedly, and made all the UFOs. I don't know what to make of this. But something's going on. And When you see where this blob went, it went to Africa and then sort of dissipated. What happened off the coast of Africa at that time? Well, take a look at this. World Weather Attribution. Extreme Sahel heat wave. It hit highly vulnerable populations at the end of ... Guess that means we're supposed to click on it to read the rest. It says extreme heat. We read that. It wouldn't have occurred without climate change. Oh, okay. Ramadan would not have occurred without climate change. But extreme temperatures were reported across the Sahel, including in Senegal, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, and Chad. In many of these countries, power cuts occurred during the heat episode, making it especially difficult for the population to cope with the extreme temperatures. Heat waves are arguably the deadliest type of extreme weather event, and while the death toll is often underreported and not known until months after the event, a surge in hospital admissions and deaths were reported from the Gabriel Tour Hospital in Bamako, Mali, between April 1st to the April 4th. Mind you, this is April 18th, 2024 is when this article was written. Now, if you go down here, you see this graph showing you the heat that they were experiencing in that West African area, right where the blob last was seen sort of dissipating into Africa. It was a heat wave. It coincided with Ramadan. Now, if you'll remember, it was also at this time during Ramadan that Saudi Arabia experienced huge storms and flooding. It's like the whole, I don't know, this looked like on the television, these big cities in Saudi Arabia were flooded, and it was just a terrible thing. It was all over the news. I don't know, but there's something pretty suspicious going on here. West Africa's deadly heat wave driven by climate change, scientists say. April 18, 2024. The heat wave coincided with power outages in Ramadan, the Muslim holy month that involves fasting from dawn until sunset. There's a picture of an elderly woman hospitalized for dehydration during the recent record heat wave. She receives IV drip while she's being consulted at a hospital in Niamey, Niger. West Africa experienced a brutal heat wave this year. And now they're saying, oh, we need to reduce the worldwide emissions. It's just global warming, friends. It's not anything to do with this base down there in Antarctica. Right. Look at this. Climate change made West Africa's dangerous humid heat wave 10 times worse. Deadly heat wave strikes West Africa. Ramadan timetable. It says storm dumps heaviest rain ever recorded in the desert nation of the UAE, United Arab Emirates. That's April 17th, 2024. The state-run WAM news agency called the rain Tuesday an historic weather event that suppressed anything documented since the start of the data. Saudi Arabia travel advise they're going to see more rainfall due to warmer weather. Extreme weather brings winds, fierce rains. April 10th, 2024, rain in Saudi Arabia today. That is exactly when that red blob was sitting out in the ocean. It started April 8th, and around April 10th, it was going towards Africa. And then, of course, it started then and went, we saw here, to the 17th of April.
Several areas in Saudi Arabia grappled with widespread disruptions as intense rainfall triggered flash floods, submerging roads across multiple regions of the desert kingdom. Authorities shuttered schools in affected areas like Qasim, eastern province.
I guess the weather in Saudi Arabia is confused. What? That's crazy. How did the sand get on top of the snow? I thought, what? That's confused. And then Saudi Arabia had a snowstorm? Hold on, y'all. Wasn't Saudi Arabia just green and now there's snow there? So they're going through this shit. Damn. This shit crazy. Look at this guy.
Well, guys, you can draw your own conclusions. I've already drawn mine. I think they're using CERN to change the weather, to open up the bottomless pit. And there's probably all kinds of levels to this. I do believe that it's a sign as they threw those missiles up that were named APEP, that had to do with some deity that was trying to destroy the sun, and they shot it at the sun on April 8th. And this asteroid's coming through named Apophis, or whatever, this is also the name of some demonic devil against the sun. They're signaling that they're opening the bottomless pit, probably for weather occurrences, for the destruction of the world, which is the demon, right, up out of the bottomless pit. And they're signaling that they're trying to take out the light, which they know is coming, which is higher consciousness and Christ consciousness, and Jesus coming back to the earth. They think they're going to destroy it. They probably believe, like a lot of other people, that Jesus isn't really coming back. It's just higher consciousness, and they can snuff it out. I don't think so, because I believe that Jesus himself is going to return in the clouds of heaven, and we're going to meet him in the air, friends. So, if you'll notice, they've got all these agents running around out there trying to make you believe that the Bible is just some strange book that, yeah, you can believe in it, but it isn't really true. We don't take it literally. We don't even take it seriously, and we don't even believe it's inspired. But hey, we're going to teach it and talk about it, and we're going to misinterpret it, and we believe in it, but we don't really believe in it. You know, it's like we don't believe what it says, right? It was just Paul's opinions, and Jesus isn't really coming back, but we're going to take all the precautions and open up the bottomless pit and try to destroy truth anyway. And by the way, the Third World War that they had planned all the way back, they planned the First and the Second World War. I just saw a video where they were talking about this. The Third World War is commencing on schedule. We're entering into the Great Tribulation. They've already sacrificed the red heifer. Friends, World War III, nuclear weapons are being dispensed. DEFCON 1 has begun. Tucker Carlson says they're going to shut down the internet, the banks, everything's going to be shut down, and we're not prepared, he says, and it can just shut us off like that. Friends, it's coming. Be prepared. And I think they're going to start shooting up some more of these. They've already shown that this red blob has reappeared in April the 15th or 20th or something. I don't know. It just keeps reappearing, and with it will come hurricanes and tsunamis and storms. Friends, prepare for drought, rain, storms, hurricanes, earthquakes. It's coming. Please take this seriously. Please get on your knees and get your testimony now. Cry out into the Lord and ask for his Holy Spirit and his protection. Pray for your family. Pray for your neighbors. Preach the gospel. Confess his name among men. Don't be afraid. They cannot do anything to us, because we're covered by the blood of Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and go. The Lord will bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.